Students, today I am going to discuss about oogenesis. What do you mean by oogenesis? Oogenesis means formation of ovum or female gamete in the ovary. You can define formation of female gamete or ovum in the ovary is known as oogenesis. Ovary is lined with germinal epithelium, and germinal epithelium consists of cuboidal cells. Cuboidal cells or germ cells undergo mitosis and form oogonium. These are diploid cells. Diploid means those cells which contain two sets of chromosomes. Two germ cells and oogonium are diploid cells. Oogonium, this phase, when germ cell undergoes mitotic division and forms oogonium, this phase is known as phase of multiplication. Phase of multiplication. Next phase of oogenesis is phase of growth. Oogonium takes nourishment from follicular cells, surrounding follicular cells, and grows in size and forms primary oocyte. Primary oocyte is also diploid cell and it is indicated by 2N. This phase is known as phase of growth. Now primary oocyte undergoes maturation division. Maturation division consists of two divisions, first meiotic division and second meiotic division. First meiotic division is known as reductional division and second meiotic division is known as equational division. First meiotic division is known as reductional division because in this division the number of chromosomes reduced to half to their parent cells. And second meiotic division is known as equational division because in this division the number of chromosomes remains same to that of their parent cells. Then primary oocyte undergoes maturation division. First meiotic division or meiosis. By the first meiotic division, primary oocyte divides in two unequal cells. One smaller cell is known as first polar body and other larger cell known as secondary oocyte. Secondary oocyte undergoes second meiotic division and forms two unequal cells. Larger cell is known as oocyte. Secondary oocyte is a haploid cell. Its number is the number of chromosomes is half to that of primary oocyte. Secondary oocyte undergoes second meiotic division and form two unequal cells. Larger cell is known as oocyte. It is a haploid cell. And a smaller cell is known as second polar body. And first polar body also divides to form two smaller cells known as second polar body. In this way, in second meiosis, three second polar bodies are produced and one oocyte is formed. These three polar bodies undergo degeneration. They degenerate, and oocyte is transformed into ovum. But in ovulation means the release of ovum from ovary is known as ovulation, and it occurs after 14 days of menstrual flow, starting of menstrual flow. In human, first polar body does not go under second meiotic division, and one oogonium forms one ovum, and second meiotic division occurs in oviduct or fallopian tube when sperm enters the ovum. Suspended second meiotic division completes in oviduct when sperm penetrates the or enters the ovum, and then secondary oocyte is converted into oocyte, then into ovum. So in human being, ovum is released in the form of secondary oocyte because second meiotic division remains suspended, and it completes in the oviduct when sperm penetrates the or enters the ovum. There is a difference between spermatogenesis and oogenesis. In spermatogenesis, one spermatogonium produces 4 male gametes or spermatozoa or sperm. But in oogenesis, one oogonium forms only one ovum. Now I am going to discuss about the hormonal control of oogenesis. Oogenesis occurs under the influence of few hormones. Hypothalamus secretes a hormone known as GnRH. It means gonadotropin releasing hormone. This hormone stimulates the anterior lobe of pituitary gland. It is also known as master gland, and it secretes 2 hormones, FSH and LH. FSH means follicular stimulating hormone, and LH means luteinizing hormone. FSH stimulates the follicular cells to secrete a hormone known as estrogen. It is also known as female sex hormone. It stimulates the growth of male sex organs and develops secondary sexual characters in female. LH stimulates the corpus luteum. Corpus luteum is an endocrine gland which secretes a hormone known as progesterone. Progesterone is secreted during pregnancy and it maintains pregnancy, so it is also known as hormone of pregnancy. In this way, you can see that the oogenesis is controlled by hormones. It is the hormonal control of oogenesis. It occurs under the influence of hormones. Now I am going to discuss about the structure of mammary gland. It is mammary gland. Mammary gland is one pair, one located on either side of median axis. It is the modification of sweat gland. Sweat gland. It is also present in male, but it remains in rudimentary condition. It means it is highly reduced. It is not functional. Mammary gland in female is meant to nourish the infants, to their offspring. Mammary gland is a large glandular structure. It contains a projection known as nipple, and nipple contains minute pores through which milk is ejected after birth of child to nourish the child. It contains a dark region which is light brown or dark pink, known as areola. This dark portion of mammary gland is areola, and this projection is known as nipple. Mammary gland consists of three types of tissues. First, glandular tissue, fibrous tissue, and adipose tissue. Glandular tissue or mammary gland can be divided into 15 to 20 lobes. Lobes mean chambers, like this. It is lobe, and lobe is divided into lobules. It divides to form lobules, a smaller chambers, and lobe contains grape-like structure like this. It is known as alveoli, plural alveoli and singular alveolus. It secretes milk. The secretion of milk, or when milk is secreted, passes through mammary tubule, and mammary tubule joins the mammary duct, and mammary duct leads into mammary ampulla. Before reaching the nipple, mammary duct dilates and known as mammary ampulla. It temporarily stores the milk, and it leads into a duct known as lentiferous duct, which opens outside through minute apertures. Other tissue is known as fibrous tissue. Fibrous tissue provides support to the duct and lobules. And next, adipose tissue. Adipose tissue is present between the lobes, these lobes here, and on the skin, and it determines the shape of mammary gland. The size of mammary gland depends on the amount of adipose tissue. Mammary gland secretes milk, which provides nourishment to the newly born child. A female secretes about 1.5 to 2 liter milk per day. First, milk secretion which is secreted just after birth of child, is known as colostrum. It contains large amount of antibodies and it protects the newly born child from some diseases or some pathogens like bacteria and virus. So milk feeding is essential for newly born child. It is a balanced diet. It contains carbohydrate, protein and lipid. Its milk sugar is known as lactose, and milk protein is known as casein. It contains minerals like potassium, calcium, sodium, etc. It contains lipid droplets, but it contains less amount of vitamin C and poor amount of iron. It is essential, milk feeding is essential for a newly born child. Or mammary gland is undeveloped in female until puberty. It means before puberty, before its maturity, it is undeveloped, and after puberty, after 13 years, it begins to develop. It becomes large under the influence of some hormones like estrogen. And milk secretion, synthesis of milk takes place under the influence of a hormone prolactin. And milk is ejected by a hormone known as oxytocin. Milk is ejected by a hormone known as oxytocin. Oxytocin is responsible for the ejection of milk, and prolactin is responsible for synthesis of milk. In this way, mammary gland is finished. In next class, I shall discuss about the menstrual cycle. Thank you.